Hi guys, welcome back to the Fungi Files. Today's video is going to be pretty short as we're just going to be inoculating some Cordyceps into our liquid culture and then preparing our syringes afterwards, sterilizing them or sanitizing them in some boiling water to prepare for future uses. Our Cordyceps samples from earlier have now all started to grow out. We're going to go ahead and keep one master sample for now in the fridge to make that dormant, and go ahead and transfer the nicest growth, which I think is going to be this one that's starting to get an orange hue to it, and go ahead and transfer that to liquid culture. We have our jar that we prepared in our last video, and we have some sterilized syringes here. We are going to be doing a wet transfer, so we're just going to pull out some of our liquid culture from our jar, put it into our Agar dish, kind of scrape it off with the needle, and prepare for inoculation. We have a just wetted down isopropyl alcohol cloth. I'm going to use this to clean off our injection port. And a butane torch, just go ahead and flame sterilize this needle. It already has been sterilized all in boiling water, but regardless, just to be sure, get it red hot. We're going to let this cool down for a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and withdraw just a little bit. And we're going to use this on our agar dish to go ahead and wet it down. And honestly, I'm going to grab a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and scrape this mycelium off of here very gently. We really want those clumps of mycelium to be floating in the water. And then we'll go ahead and try and make sure we're getting a lot of those big clumps. Take a look in there. You can see all the mycelium floating around. We are going to inject that into our port. We're going to go ahead and steam sterilize this, or flame sterilize this real quick. But now that it's been used, I am going to go ahead and re-sterilize the entire syringe. Set that off to the side. With that being said, you can see the mycelium bits floating around in there. And this is off to incubate for probably a few weeks. And this is going to be how I sterilize my used syringes. With some boiling water, I'm going to go ahead and just pick up and then purge into this pot. I generally rinse and repeat this about 4 or 5 times. But this should ensure that any mycelium or hopefully any contaminants are going to be cleared from the syringe. And this isn't the same as sterilizing it in a pressure cooker or Instant Pot. However, I find that this works just fine for reducing contamination. We're going to call that one good. Our next episode, we're going to be working on preparing some master mix, hardwood substrate for king oysters and for our lion's mane. We did some experiments with some core. I've cold shocked them, both Shiitake and king oyster. However, neither have really started to pen yet. I'm going to give them some more time, but in the meantime, we will prepare some hardwood substrate to use. Here's going to be those king oysters. See a little bit of yellow in there, a little bit of metabolites, but no pinning quite yet. And with our shiitake, we did cold shock these as well, and give them a little smack on the ground. Likewise, no pinning quite yet. I'm still going to hold out hope, but we are going to prepare that substrate just in case, so we can get some hardwood going for them. However, with all that being said, that does conclude today's episode of the Fungi Files. I do hope that you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know down below. Otherwise, I look forward to joining you all next episode while we prepare our hardwood substrate and hopefully have a look at our Cordyceps culture as it's developed.